This is the Home Employee Dashboard. This was created to give a quick view and quick links into the most commonly used functions, especially for those who only need to come in and view payslips, record absences, timesheets, expenses, etc. The original menu is still here. You can click on it straight away to get into it. You don't have to wait for this to load up in order to go into the menu or any functions that you need. The swirling circle is not it being slow. It uses real data, so every time you go into it, it's looking at the most current data so that what you're seeing is exact and accurate. You have some personal information here. You can expand this to see it further and close it again. It's some useful information like your resource ID, your line manager, your position code, your work schedule for your main employment. If you needed to see for any other employments, they are in personal information. You have a remaining entitlement pie chart for your annual leave. This gives you a quick overview of what you have left, what you have taken, and obviously you can see in more detail in the absences tab. Again, this expands and collapses. You also have a calendar over here, so you can change the view so you can see it in the calendar view. Again, this can be expanded and collapsed. Down here you have your document archive, which will have your pay slips, so P60, etc. You can change the view of this as well so that you can see. You can also change, filter what you can, different documents, and you can expand this to have a better view of your payslip. Also, if you need to save your payslips elsewhere, you can download them from here and save them onto your OneDrive so that you can access them outside of the system. Okay, the tabs across the top, you have got your personal information. So this just takes you straight into the personal information tab that you would normally go through from your employment in the menu. So your employment, personal information. That's just a shortcut into there. The My Absences tab, if you hover over it, click to go into Request Absence. This just goes into the absence request section. If you click on the tab, it goes into some detail about your absences. Here you have your annual leave entitlement breakdown, which shows you your current entitlement, carryover, and therefore your overall entitlement, what you've taken, what you have left. Here you have a list of your historic on your upcoming absences. And this shows you the days and the hours taken. Again, this can be expanded. It also shows you your sick absences. The time and expenses, if you hover over it, it's a shortcut to submitting timesheets. So it goes straight into a timesheet. Submit travel expenses. This goes into the expense claim section. This is for all expenses as well. If there are any other expenses you need to claim that aren't travel, this is just a shortcut to the expenses claim. If you click on the time and expenses, you can see here it's got a list of your timesheets that you've already sent or that are in workflow already. Again, this can be expanded, and your expense claims down here. It also shows a workflow status, which can be expanded and collapsed. Common reports, not all of these will be useful or to everyone or accessible. It depends on your role. But everybody who has access to My HR Forms, My HR Forms workflow status, paid timesheets, paid expenses. So any HR forms you may have completed, if you need to go back in to see them, you can click on here and it will show you a list of forms. So this, for example, maternity notification, accident incident form. And here you can click and it will take you into the form so you can see what you've previously completed. Okay, if I go back into the forms, okay, same with those, you can click on those. My HR forms workflow status, if you have completed a form and sent off a form, you're not quite sure if your manager has seen it and approved it, and you want to check where it is in the workflow, you would use this report, would show you where it's at in the workflow. Okay, as you can see, for the different forms, it shows initiated by, workflow status, who the task is with, and therefore you can check who to contact.